Forsooth, if thou hearest the voice of thy Lord God, that do and keep all his commandments, which I command to thee today, thy Lord God shall make thee higher than all the folks that live in earth, and all these blessings shall come on thee, and shall take thee, if nevertheless thou hearest his behest. Thou shalt be blessed in city, and blessed in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy womb, and the fruit of thy land, and the fruit of thy beast, the flocks of thy great beast, and the folds of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy barns, and blessed shall be thy remnants. Thou shalt be blessed entering in and going out. The Lord shall give thine enemies to fall in thy sight, that shall rise against thee. By one way they shall come against thee, and by 7 ways they shall flee from thy face. The Lord shall send out blessings upon thy sowers, and upon all the works of thine hands. And he shall bless thee in the land which thou hast taken. The Lord shall raise to himself into an holy people, as he swore to thee, if thou keepest the behests of thy Lord God, and goest in his ways. And all the peoples of other lands shall see that the name of the Lord is inwardly called upon thee, and they shall dread thee. The Lord shall make thee to be plenteous in all goods, in the fruit of thy womb, and in the fruit of thy beast, in the fruit of thy land, which the Lord swore to thy fathers, that he would give to thee. The Lord shall open his best treasure, heaven, that he give rain to thy land in his time, and he shall bless all the works of thine hands. And thou shalt lend to many folks, and of no man thou shalt take borrowing. The Lord God shall set thee into the head, and not into the tail, and evermore thou shalt be above and not beneath. If nevertheless thou hearest the commandments of thy Lord God, which I command to thee today, and keepest and doest them, and bowest not away from them, neither to the right side, neither to the left side, neither pursuest alien gods, nor worshippest them, that if thou wilt not hear the voice of thy Lord God, that thou keep and do all his behest and ceremonies, which I command to thee today, all these cursings shall come upon thee, and shall take thee. Thou shalt be cursed in city, and cursed in field. Cursed shall be thy barn, and cursed shall be thy remnants. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy womb, and the fruit of thy land, the droves of thine oxen, and the flocks of thy sheep. Thou shalt be cursed going in, and cursed going out. The Lord shall send upon thee hunger, and thirst, and blaming, into all the works which thou shalt do, till he all break thee, and lose thee swiftly, for thy full wicked findings, in which thou hast forsaken me. The Lord shall join pestilence to thee, till he waste thee from the land to which thou shalt enter to wield. The Lord shall smite thee with neediness, with fever, and cold, with burning, and heat, with corrupt air, and mildew, either rust, and he shall pursue thee till thou perish. Heaven that is above thee, be it brazen, and the earth that thou treadest on, be it iron. The Lord give dust for rain to thy land, and ash come down from heaven upon thee, till thou all be broken. The Lord give thee falling from before before thine enemies. By one way go thou against them, and by 7 ways flee thou from them, and be thou scattered by all the realms of earth. And the dead body be it into meat for all birds of heaven, and to beasts of the earth, and none be that may drive them away. The Lord smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and the Lord make the part of the body there whereby odorous of turds be voided out. Also the Lord smite thee with scab and itching, so that thou mayest not be cured. The Lord smite thee with madness and blindness and wildness of thought, and grope thou in midday, as a blind man is wont to grope in darknesses, and dress he not thy ways. In all times suffer thou false challenge, and be thou oppressed by violence, neither have thou any that shall deliver thee. Take thou a wife, and another man sleep with her. Build thou an house, and dwell thou not therein. Plant thou a vinery, and gather thou not grapes thereof. Thine ox be offered before thee, and eat thou not thereof. Thine ass be ravished in thy sight, and be it not yielded again to thee. Thy sheep be given to thine enemies, and none be that help thee to recover them. thy sons and thy daughters be given to another people, while thine eyes see and fail at the sight of them all day, and no strength be in thine hand. A people whom thou knowest not eat the fruits of thy land and all thy travails, and ever be thou suffering false challenges, and be thou oppressed in all days or all time, and be thou wondering at the fearfulness of those things which thine eyes shall see. The Lord smite thee with the worst botch in the knees and in the hinder parts of the leg, and thou may not be healed from the sole of thy foot till to thy top or unto the knoll. And the Lord shall lead thee and thy king, whom thou shalt ordain on thee, into a folk which thou knowest not, thou and thy fathers, and thou shalt serve there to alien gods, to tree and to stone. And thou shalt be lost or forgotten into a proverb and into a fable to all peoples, to whom the Lord shall bring thee in. Thou shalt cast much seed into the earth, and thou shalt gather again little, for locusts shall devour all things. Thou shalt plant and dig a vinery, and thou shalt not drink the wine of it, neither thou shalt gather thereof anything, for it shall be wasted with worms. Thou shalt have olive trees in all thy coast, and thou shalt not be anointed with oil of them, for they shall fall down and perish. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, and thou shalt not use them, for they shall be led into captivity. Rust or mildew shall waste all thy trees and the fruits of thy land. A comeling that dwelleth with thee in the land shall go up upon thee, and he shall be higher. Forsooth, thou shalt go down, and shalt be the lower. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be into the head, and thou shalt be into the tail. And all these cursings shall come upon the tail, and all these cursings shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and take thee, till thou perish. For thou heardest not the voice of thy Lord God, neither keepest his commandments and ceremonies, which he commanded to thee. And signs and great wonders shall be in thee, and in thy seed, till into without end. For thou servest not thy Lord God in joy and gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things that God sent thee. Thou shalt serve thine enemy, whom God shall send to thee, in hunger and thirst, and in nakedness, and in poverty of all things. And he shall put an iron yoke on thy knoll, till he all break thee. The Lord shall bring on thee a folk from far place, and from the last ends of earth, into the likeness of an eagle flying with rush, of which folk thou mayest not understand their language. A folk most greedy, asker this shall be, that shall not give reverence to an old man, neither have mercy upon a little child. And it shall devour the fruit of thy beast, and the fruits of thy land, till thou perishest. And this folk shall not leave to thee wheat, wine, and oil, nor droves of oxen and flocks of sheep, till he lose thee, and all break in all thy cities, until all thy firm and high walls be destroyed, in which thou hadst trust in all thy land. Thou shalt be besieged within thy gates in all thy land, which thy Lord God shall give to thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy womb, and the flesh of thy sons, and of thy daughters, which thy Lord God shall give to thee, in the anguish and in the destroying, by which thine enemies shall oppress thee. A man delicate of life and full lecherous shall have envy greatly to his brother, and to his wife that lieth in his bosom, and also toward the remnant of his children that he hath left, lest he give to them of the flesh of his sons, which he shall eat. For he hath none other thing in besieging and poverty, by which thine enemies shall waste thee within all thy gates. A tender woman and delicate, that might go upon the earth, neither set a step of foot. Her most softness and tenderness shall have envy to her husband that lieth in her bosom, on the flesh of her son and daughter, and on the filth of skins, wherein the child is wrapped in the mother's womb, that go out of the midst of her hip bones or loins, and on free children that be born in the same hour. They shall eat those children privily, for the scarcity of all things in besieging and destroying, by which thine enemies shall oppress thee within thy gates. No, but thou shalt keep and do all the words of this law that be written in this volume, by their book, and shalt dread his glorious name, and fearful that is, thy Lord God. The Lord shall increase thy wounds or torments, and the wounds of thy seed, great wounds and continual sicknesses, worst and everlasting. And he shall turn into thee all the torments of Egypt, which thou dreadest, for those shall cleave to thee. Furthermore, the Lord shall bring upon thee also all the sorrows and wounds that be not written in this book of the law, till he all break thee. And ye shall dwell few in number, that were before as the stars of heaven for multitude. For thou heardest not the voice of thy Lord God. And as the Lord was glad before upon you, and did well to you, and multiplied you, so he shall be glad to lose you, and to destroy you, that ye be taken away from the land to which thou shalt enter to wield. The Lord shall scatter thee into all peoples, from highness of the earth unto the coast thereof. Thou shalt serve there to alien gods, which thou knowest not, and thy fathers knew not, to trees and stones. Also, thou shalt rest in those folks, neither rest shall be to the sleep step of thy foot, for the Lord shall give to thee a fearful heart, and eyes failing, and a soul wasted with privy sorrow. And thy life shall be as hanging before thee. Thou shalt dread night and day, and thou shalt not trust to thy life. In the morrow tide thou shalt say, who shall give the eventide to me? And in the eventide thou shalt say, who shall give the morrow tide to me? For the dread of thine heart, by which thou shalt be made afeared, and for those things which thou shalt see with thine eyes, the Lord shall lead thee again by ships into Egypt, by the way of which he said to thee, thou shouldest no more see it. There thou shalt be sold to thine enemies, into men servants and women servants, and none shall be that shall deliver thee.